Hi guys, today we're going to do a few missions with our friend Flash Fury. Essentially, we just we reached tier 5 not that long ago with this little fella. So we're going to try to do maybe some tier 5 missions, or maybe go back and do a few tier 4 missions we didn't do yet. We'll see. Also, I'll probably do a quick tour of the base to show. Essentially, I added a few more flash items. I got a bundle for one of my villain legal, and I just wanted essentially the treadmill and the monitors for that legal. So the leftover flash items I added to this base. So as you can see, there's a few more items from the flash bundle. So I guess we could probably do still a few tier 4 missions first. So we probably didn't do all the striker missions or the ace chemical missions with this character yet. So let's see what we can do. Of course, the missions are random, so we don't really control what we're going to do. But
Mission grant complete. Thank you for your assistance.
Ron is trying to force his rage upon this chaotic mess. His emissaries are spreading across the island, attempting to influence other prisoners to join his primal cause. Find them and stop them from spreading their rage.
I guess I attracted too many prisoners. That happens. Luckily, we're a bit more powerful. Essentially, I did the solo iconics twice, essentially to get some mixture gear, and it kind of helps. So there's a little emissary here. I get it. I attracted the guys from upstairs. It's good to know. So let's use our pull to try and pull him away from the other guys. Having a pull ability is pretty useful in this game, and even more when you're not a flying character. When you're a flying character, you can pretty much choose which enemies you're going to attack. With a speedster, it's a bit easier to attract the wrong enemies. That will be even more obvious once I start doing some of the tier 4 alerts, or is it operations? No, I think it's alerts. So our last one should be here, and we'll probably have a truckload of other guys joining the fight. So what really helped was essentially being able to gain health, even though I'm in DPS stance. There's a few powers that still act as a healer power. They most likely don't heal as well as if I was in healer mode, but still it adds up. Through the fight, it does make the difference. It does give a bit more survivability to your character, so that you don't die as easily. I guess I'll have to go to the other side to get some purple monkeys. Ah, there he is. So let's summon our Kid Flash, so to speak, and let's get started. See what I did there? I tricked the monkey into blocking me so that I could break out and regenerate some health. Also, I didn't realize like this ability here is a block breaker. Also, I've been using it quite a lot lately to block break those turtle, I guess you could call them. Oh, I hear something. And you can notice the usual bickering in the chat box.
Confirmation of mission protocols. Steelworks
So
appreciate.
let's see what's in the box.
Power systems unstable. Please engage emergency backup system.
Oh, I guess I'm already out of the relevancy range. I'm a bit surprised, but okay. Let's go do these chemical missions anyway. With some missions, it's a little difficult to get to know if we.
Of critical importance.
I guess we're not getting. Okay, we're not going to get marks of victory anymore from these, which is okay. We don't really need to. talking too much, not paying attention to what I'm doing.
We've got a serious outbreak on our
And I
hands.
freaking hate this mission.
Those experimental chemicals have caused mutant growths to start popping up around the facility.
Oh well. I'm just trying to find a. Oh, there we go. Essentially, I'm just trying to find some of the objectives, and hopefully not having to fight all the enemies in the map, which sometimes is easier said than done. Oh, notice I was done.
It's starting to spread out into the city. Hang on to that cleanse rifle.
Usually in the past, I would fight the mutants using the gun, which is a bit difficult. But then, at some point, I came to realize that you don't have to. Oh, I didn't notice I was grouped with someone. Oh, there we go. I don't usually add those ninja inviters to ignore right away. Only if, let's say, if he kept on inviting me, like spam inviting me, then I would probably add him to ignore. But just a one-time thing. I just leave the group, and that's pretty much it. But the other day there was this guy who kept on spamming me and spamming me and spamming me. So after a couple of times, he went to the ignore list. Not sure what they're hoping to do by spamming invites like that. Like after 2, 3 times you said no, do they really expect you to suddenly say yes because they kept on spamming you? I don't know. And of course, if you end up in the group by accident, you just leave. So again, where there's a bunch of enemies all around, using the pull to get just one of them is kind of useful. It allows you to fight them just one at a time as much as possible. So you can pretty much choose your battle. And you don't really want to fight the big mutants. I seem to recall they're a bit tougher than the smaller ones. So let us try and stick to fighting the smaller mutants. And wrong target. Come on. Not sure why sometimes. Okay, sometimes the targeting seems stuck on a target, and like I had to try it 3 times with the D-pad to switch target. It happens. The targeting system is okay, I guess, but could be better, I suppose. it's not the end of the world. It's just that sometimes in critical situations you end up targeting the wrong target if you're not careful, and sometimes it can be a bit tricky. Like the only good thing about the rifle is that normally I would not have had to fight that civilian. I would just have blasted him with the rifle, and he would have become a friendly friend, so to speak. Okay, time to find the monkey. I'm surprised they didn't have more monkeys or gorillas, I should say, in this game. Gorillas are fairly popular amongst comic fans, I mean. Okay, where's our friend? Oh, there he is. Oh, let's summon Kid Flash. Like you saw, I gained 1,000 health using my power, which is nothing to sneeze at, and it adds up. Essentially, every time I cast it, it's a 1,000 health that's back. So I could probably spam cast it a bit more. Maybe at some point I'll do that.
Mission processing complete. Thank you.
So let's see what's in the box. Oh, a new belt. Oh, a really good new belt, I think. I would lose a little precision and a little might. But I would get 4 wild cards, which is pretty awesome. Oh no, I would gain precision and might. Oh, but I'll lose restorations. I'll think about it. Nah, I won't. 4 wild cards is too good not to use. And what to think of it, I guess I'm gonna have to try and find more trinkets to use. So let's go with our friend, the Tombot. And I'll see what I can unlock for the rest. Okay, so let's go back to our base. And of course the warp. Oh, there we go. So let's imprint our new belt. I guess I'll keep the other belt for the healer role. Let's refill our colas before we forget. And let's go to some tier 5 missions. Well, maybe I just want to check what the combat rating is for the tier 4. I don't know why. It should give relevant combat rating 90. Am I above 90 already? Oh, I'm 91. Oh, I'm sad. Okay.
I gotta say, I envy you for getting to kick all those
So usually I'll take Zatanna's mission last
Trigon are hard up to release daddy.
because it's the first one I'm going to do, and I want to keep
It's repulsive.
the mission selected in my quest tracker. It's pretty much that silly. The Wasteland is one of those places where you really want to do it with a flyer, with a flying character. It's a bit easier to navigate flying around. There's a few other places like that. Like for the Fortress of Solitude is another place that you prefer. You have to be you prefer to be a flying character when you're in there.
By the location where the recently
There's also the Central City in Tier 5
now, and you can rescue some of them before
that also is a bit much better if you're flying. That way you can avoid most of the Paradox Troopers. And as you can see, the cultist. There we go.
Someone, anyone, help!
The cultist is pretty much impervious to arm for quite a bit for some reason. Not sure if it's their way of trying and make it more challenging or if there's a hidden mechanic I'm not seeing. Oh, there she went down. Let's. No reason not to pick up this little collection. I could probably go around also and collect the investigations for the what's it called again? The protege style, essentially the Nightwing chest piece. Not don't really need it with this character.
Where are you taking
At some point, I'll probably try it out. Again, as you saw, the cultist was pretty much invincible for a bit.
those that you freed will be returned to their homes. Unfortunately, some of the abducted were already selected to join Jacob's disciples. We must spare them from this cruel fate.
We have a friend here.
What did they do to me?
I'm a bit surprised. It's pretty rare these days that there'll be someone else in the Wasteland. Pretty more often than not, I'm pretty much by myself, which I don't really mind.
Doing? Those poor souls can't catch a break. Abducted from their everyday lives and not only brought back to this terrible wasteland, but then forced to join Jacob's cult.
Let's summon our friend Kid Flash.
Charge of the rites.
And let's get started.
Their cult.
And let's summon the Tombot. Why not? I was in a bit of a tough spot to fight on the edge of the cliff like that.
With her defeat, we have a few moments to regroup. Come see me when you can.
So let's go see. Oh, let's go do NV next.
Take my eye.
This is repulsive.
I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but for your first character,
Irresistible magic to compel
odds
the
are
soul
you
and be
probably don't want to make it a
glowing
speedster
orbs. Speaking of demons, the cultists
or even an
perform a
acrobat.
ritual that will summon a demon to this realm.
These are probably pretty much the two movement modes that requires the more work, I suppose. It's the best way to describe them. But then I guess if you start using speedster as your first movement, uh, the other movement modes will probably feel like easy mode to you. Here, there's no real secret. I just start with the orbs, and then I go do the other part a bit later. As you can see, I'm cropped a bit too tight, so I don't really see the arrow above my character. Like sometimes I'll see people complain that some players don't follow the arrow. But as you can see, sometimes you just don't see it, depending on how your screen is set. Like if you're scrolling too close, you don't really see it. Although I kind of like being closer to the action, so to speak. Also, when you close these uh, portals, I guess sometimes there's a demon that will come out of the ground, and there's a feat for defeating. I think it's like 14 of those demons. Oh, I still have to disrupt one more. Sadly, you don't control when you get those 14 demons, so sometimes it can take a while before even one of them actually spawns. So it's not something you're gonna do in one gameplay unless you play for quite a few hours. Like you can try to farm them, but holy crap, sometimes they'll It'll take forever for just one of them to spawn. Okay, let's see if. Sometimes when you don't see the enemy in the zone where you're supposed to be, sometimes he's just a tiny bit outside of the zone. Well, it doesn't seem to be the case for now. I freaking hate those imps, so let's give it a good kick. Oh yeah. Not sure why, but that's deeply satisfying. I think there he is. Oh, there he is. So let's summon our friends, and let's get to work.
That will definitely give us a tactical advantage in the Nightstone area. Head back to camp.
Well, let's go with Wrath. Wrath Within. I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, there was an evil villain. Maybe some other time. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Sometimes climbing those cliffs, you get stuck on the angle on a weird angle of some of the rocks. Sometimes. Oh, is that what I think it is? Oh yeah. Oh, another guy. Holy crap! It's quite a crowd today. I know I'm all excited about seeing like 3 other players, but usually there's no one. So 3 players, it seems like a crowd in this place. Come on. So which one will that be? Oh, let's go talk to Sentinel Zhang.
Greetings, my friend. Several of our allies have been in the field for too long. They've been overwhelmed by the...
So let's summon this little guy here first. Usually when you pull the cultist, it also pulls, so to speak, the Sentinel. Let's try that again. No choice, we're gonna have to defeat this little fella here. That's why I usually try to pull the enemies away so that this doesn't happen, but sadly it still happens sometimes. Well, let's go with these 2 little fellas. I don't really have the best loadout or the most effective loadout, but it's good enough. It does the job.
We need your help once again. Next to me is the latest iteration of the Wrath Transmorpher. Would you engage me in a little test? Activate it.
Essentially, the loadout is a bit of a mixture of some advanced mechanics and some speedster abilities. And, of course, I went too close to the imp. Oh. Let's try and lose the aggro and start over. Come on, get out of there. So let's wait a bit for our health to go back up, and let's get started again. So over here, usually the tricky part is trying not to aggro too many enemies at once. Which is often easier said than done. Just one more. Usually I try to avoid the demons that are in the middle of the place. I try to get ones that are more or less on the edge so that I don't end up... I was pretty sure that all those imps would jump on me, but I guess I was lucky.
The transmorpher worked as well as I could hope. Thank you for your...
Usually I would switch back to my original form, but let's keep the demon form a bit longer. You can pretty much defeat the boss in this form. But it's probably not as powerful as your original form, especially if you're using Weapon Mastery. Or even Advanced Mechanic, come to think of it. Essentially, you pretty much lose your Weapon Mastery and or your Advanced Mechanics. So it makes the fight a little more challenging, I suppose. Especially when other demons are joining in. Oh, but it's okay, we'll be fine. I think. Worst comes to worst, we'll have to use a cola. Oh, there we go. Oh. Should have called him a jumping flash or something like that. Maybe next time. So that cliff sometimes is a bit tricky to climb. Let's see, let's try and find a good spot. I guess after a few thousand times you find a good spot where you have to climb and you find the spots you have to avoid. I suppose I'll get used to it. But that's the good thing about when you're flying, every spot is a good spot.
Your efforts are making quite a difference, but we have more to accomplish.
So we're 2 out of 5 for the missions.
This job isn't glamorous, but
So we're 2 out of 5 for the missions that would give us a bonus boss, so to speak. So next time I'll probably do the tier 5 duos. We'll see. So that's it for now, guys. So hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.